What's going on, Libra? This is your girl Venus Archangel here with another love reading for you guys. I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and let's go ahead and get started with your reading. Also, guys, actually what I want to add to the beginning of this is that I am going to be doing some special videos for the astrological new year as we go into Aries, because we leave in Pisces. So be on the lookout for that. So if need be, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell button so that way you get notified when you get that, get that set of videos. Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and get started with your reading. Oh my goodness, y'all. So the underlying energy for your reading is the Five of Swords. Libra, what's going on with you? Why are we fighting? Why are we scrapping? I'm just kidding. What I'm feeling honestly with this card is that this is a lot to do with focusing on what it is that you want and seriously trying your best to get it at all costs. So you're being, honestly, the situation is really turning out to be very very not only serious, but very, very determined to get the victory that they deserve. And maybe it means that they don't necessarily want to do, like, I feel like there's a lot of compromising that may have come up, or maybe there's a lot of things that you're doing that you may not necessarily want to do, that may be questioning whether the effort that you're putting into it is worth it or not. Now, the card underneath that was the World, so I'm going to show you really fast. It's reversed, but I don't read in reverse, so sorry, y'all, but what I am getting though is the World. Like, I feel like there was a definite ending to a certain cycle, but now it's almost like you're trying to keep something at all costs. The whole situation is about making it work, and sometimes it's in regards to doing things that may not be comfortable, or not, something that is not really that great to get there. But why do you feel that way? And there's a lot of also self-sabotage when I see this card. So I feel like there's like a lot of self-sabotage going on. At the same time, you're trying to keep it from falling apart. Like, I feel like you guys really want to make this relationship work. You're not purposely trying to sabotage yourself, but at the same time, there's a possibility that you sabotage yourself. Now, I want to let y'all know, with all love and respect, and as well as being a Libra, one thing about us Libras is true is that we are the last people on earth that are balanced. Okay, that's a whole karmic story, is that we are meant to come into this world to balance ourselves, because we don't come out here balanced. We don't start off balanced. We become balanced at the end of, as we get older and we become more wiser and we do all that other stuff. But let's be honest with each other, 99.5 out of 10 times of us actually being balanced is very, very low, especially when we're young adults, especially when we're in our 30s, especially when we're, not so much, maybe a little bit when we're in our 40s, 50s, but 60s, we get a lot better, we get a lot more balanced, we get the hang of it eventually. But right now, in our, the early stages of life, saying 30 years old, 40, like, it takes a little bit, especially now when we're children. We don't know a thing about balance. Okay, so with all that said, it's all about what it's all about figuring out what balances us out, really gets us feeling centered, which is what we need to figure out in regards to what we need to balance, pretty much. So Libras, when it comes to this card, yeah, you may have finished the cycle really, really well, happy with how it turned out, really good and everything. But at the same time, you don't want to lose that. But at the same time, with you really not wanting to lose that and causing, doing everything that you feel like you need is necessary, it could be causing a rift in the relationship, causing little problems here and there, and honestly sabotaging the relationship within itself because of prevention purposes. So be very careful and very mindful of that. Now, for your heart of the reading, or the state of being, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So you are in a very good place. You're feeling happy, you're financially sound, you feel stable, you feel really, really abundant in love. This is really, really good, because you're actually seeing your love manifest itself in the physical world. Like, you're really happy with it. Like, and the world around you is really evolving around your happiness. Okay, things are wonderful. That's one of the things that I'm really saying. Be very careful with your with sabotaging. I'm not saying you guys are typically known to sabotage yourselves. Just be careful that what you're trying to prevent to happen, and really make sure it stays beautiful is not something that you're actually causing it to kind of ripple, because you just got to be very careful. I'm not saying that you're doing it, but I'm just saying be very, very careful, because I know I have a bad habit of doing that sometimes. So everything looks great. You look good. You have the 10 of Pentacles. Things are just beautiful, and you want to maintain that, which is very fair enough. Now, the thing that's kind of what your goal is fair enough too. You got the 8 of Swords. I feel like you guys want to be more free. You guys want to feel like you have the freedom to express, the freedom to be you 100%, and not have to worry about the fears and stuff that's coming around you, telling you that, hey, you say this, you could mess everything up. You do this, you could mess everything up. Don't let that stuff, no. These things that talk to you like this or say this stuff, don't listen to that. That's fear. That's not even, because in a relationship, you're supposed to be free. In a relationship, you're supposed to just be you. And if that person can't accept you for you, then that person ain't supposed to be with you in the first place. They just need to go. You need to be like, look, you need to be like, bye. No, that ain't me. If you have to become a different person, then that's a problem. Okay? That's a huge problem. Huge problem. Because you want to be yourself when it comes in relationships, right? You want to be the most relaxed that you could possibly be. Be the sassiest you ever. Be the most, calm you ever. Whatever side of Libra that you are, right? Whatever makes you the best, makes you Libra. Let it be you in the relationship. Don't change it for nobody. So if your goal is to be free and to kind of let yourself escape from the whole, boundaries and the fear in your mind that's keeping you from not doing you and not being you and not moving in the way you need to move, then it's time to really look at some situations within yourself, because it's not the other person's fault. The person's doing their thing, right? The possibility of them doing their thing is very high to me. I feel like this whole situation is about you. So if you doing you, even if they're doing you, what are you doing? If you're not doing you, you're doing them, then there's that balance thing I was talking about. You gotta really make sure that you good first before you go ahead and mess with somebody else. And then at the same time, if you're already in a relationship, it's time to really figure out why you feel like you cannot be yourself. And if that person's giving you signs and stuff that being yourself is a problem, we got a problem, right? We got to figure out why this person, or why we even interact with somebody that don't feel like, that aren't us, So what's keeping us from our goal? I might as well have said all that when I said, to pulling out the card here that's keeping you from being free, to being you, to letting yourself kind of just go out there and say, hey, this is me. Yeah, I'm weird. So what? Is the devil. So it's talking about codependent issues. I think codependency, old habits, and it's not the other person's fault. It's not. I think it's just the beauty of the relationship, the beauty of the chemistry working so well, and it's just something that you guys really want to keep, and something that you really want to have. So I feel like you guys taking that step and really kind of grabbed into that relationship and said, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go with my heart and we'll go with my soul. We're gonna try this. We're gonna make it work for the best of what I can do and best what I want to put into it, and the best what it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel free. Okay, because now you're feeling trapped because the situation is so beautiful. I feel that you just don't really want to lose that. Obviously, right? You don't want to do that. The dynamic of the relationship is really beautiful. This is a soulmate card as well, guys, and I want to let y'all know. Though this is karmic relationships, this is still regarding a soulmate. But most importantly, let's go back to you for a second, Libra. Yeah. I mean, you might be picking up more of the slack in the relationship, doing a little bit more of some other stuff. You might be going into doing some old stuff that you really shouldn't probably be doing in a relationship right now, because it really does sabotage and mess up the dynamic of the relationship. Just focus on you, and that's it. Focus on why you don't feel free. Focus on why you don't feel like you can be the person that you are in the relationship, and why do you feel like you need to overcompensate or undercompensate to kind of make sure that the relationship is still somewhat balanced when there isn't necessarily a problem. Okay, because everything looks beautiful, everything looks great. If you feel insecure, you feel like there's not enough stability, there is a time and place for you guys to communicate that with your partner and to actually hash out some things to really get that balance going. But if that's not the case, and the other person isn't in any deep crap and they're doing everything perfectly, why do you feel like you have to do something different? Why can't you just be you? You know what I'm saying? Now, the origins of this relationship is because of a fallout, because of something that was lost in the past, something that was just really devastating. You put your heart and soul into it. You've really invested your time into it, and it just hurts you, man. It really hurts you. But the thing here is that even though the support was gone and everything like that, situations, well, even the relationship that you put your heart and soul into was gone, you still had 2 cups here. You still had a relationship. You still had all these things. And it was a connection that caught you guys, either for those of you that are back together with exes, this is what you got you guys back in a relationship. This is what you guys utilized about this relationship to move to the next level. So it's not necessarily what was lost. I know it's scary to kind of go back there to think that you could be so close to losing something so precious to you again in regards to the dynamic in your relationship, what you guys had to go through in your relationship. Someone may be turning to a third-party situation because of this situation. You guys kind of recover from that, or breaking up and coming back together. This whole situation, that's painful, no doubt. Just be careful that you're not, that you're doing everything. And you end up being unhappy because you're doing so much. So be very careful with that, Libra. Please be very careful. Now, with your advice, you have the 3 of Cups. This is talking about reunions. This is talking about getting together with friends, family, and really spending some time and having some fun and enjoying this, the situation that you have here, this 10 of Pentacles. So it's talking about having fun, doing something that you enjoy, being around people that love you and you love them back, and really in an environment that really feels good. So if you're in a place where you can appreciate what you have and not really look at what you could possibly lose at any moment because of whatever crazy, messed up thoughts that your fear is giving you, right? You'll be set. You'll be good. You'll realize that everything that is put into place right now is there because you were you when it happened. You set those boundaries and you made this relationship happen because you were nothing more or nothing better than yourself. Okay? So this situation is really talking about getting together with people that love you, getting back in touch with your connection with your loved ones, with the person that you're in the relationship with. Being connected back with your spirit, to be honest with you, too. Because if you connect with yourself and no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be this way because I know I'm good enough and I don't need to overcompensate. I don't need to undercompensate. I don't need to do any of that. I'm good. When you understand that, you won't need nothing else. You won't need nothing else. Now, in your feelings, you have the 4 of Pentacles. So, yeah, it's kind of feeling like as though you're holding on to dear life in regards to these Pentacles. You're slowly starting to, and it's not. I feel like you feel in your emotions. You're just kind of like, no. And it's fair enough, right? Like, you don't want to lose what you just worked so hard to gain. But at the same time, it's maybe time for you to just relax a little bit on the grip. Let go of these fears that are making you hold on so tightly so you guys can venture out and explore and to be a couple that can stand the test of time, withstand all odds. And how a relationship gets stronger is because they hit bumps and they hit spots in their relationship that don't really resonate with each other. So that's why there's communication, that's why there's talking, that's why there's these relationships that last forever, because they've gone through the hardship. When you try to prevent the hardship from coming in, that's when the relationship is the most weakest, because there isn't any foundation of communication laid out. There's no way of communicating with each other because you've compensated for everything, or you undercompensated, you let them handle it. So just be careful about this. Do not, I feel like, honestly, as a life coach, relationship coach, love coach, as a person that wants you to succeed in love and relationships, do not hold on to your fears, because that's what you hold on to. You're not holding on to the relationship, you hold on to the fears. Let that go, because that's not going to help you. Just acknowledge those fears, accept them for what they are, understand where they come from, give yourself compassion, and release them, because they're not going to help you. Not really. They just remind you of what you lost and give you that paranoid feeling and make you feel like you cannot move in an area where there's plenty of room to grow. So just be very, very, very careful. Now, your hopes and fears is the 9 of Cups. So yeah, you want to be happy. You want to be emotionally content. You want to be satisfied with what you want, satisfied with what you have. to manifest more. So there's no doubt you have the environment to do that, you have the people to do that, you have the love to do that, you have all these great things. It's just how you're thinking. It's what's kind of causing the problem. And it's not really, and again, it's not even your fault. You have gone through some very hard stuff. You got to give yourself that love to say, hey, you know what? I've been through some mess. I may have, some fears in regards to what I put my heart and soul into, in regards to what I've lost. Because, I put my heart and soul into it. I put everything and every ounce of me into it. I loved this relationship. I loved my partner, and I lost that. But I can overcome this now. I know what was wrong. Find out what was going on in the first place, because it's not just things just collapse and you got to figure it out. And there's no way of knowing. Like if that happened, if you didn't understand what even happened, it's time to really look within yourself to figure out why there was even a gap in the relationship for that to happen in the first place, because it's something that could always lead to it, right? For those of you that really don't have an answer and everything just was beautiful and it just kind of just erupted, then you just have to recognize that, hey, some things just happen, and it's okay to feel pain and to feel, to mourn that, and it's okay to really, be a little bit uneasy on sometimes, but it's also okay to understand and know that situation didn't, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, it's okay to accept that the relationship fell through and it wasn't your fault, okay? Because honestly, how would you know anyway? If you can't communicate with the person that you're with, if you guys are completely broken up and you guys are seeing other people, and you're kind of feeling a little like, I need to kind of make sure I do everything I can to make sure this relationship don't fall out like last time, even though you don't have no reason to. There is no reason or basis of what happened in the first place. You shouldn't even beat yourself up at all in the first place, because the person in that relationship clearly did not state some boundaries, clearly did not communicate with you, clearly did not show you or give you the 50% that was needed in your relationship to make it work for you. So you at least, you had yourself covered. You did all that. So in regards to that, it's okay to feel like, stuff could happen. But if it happens, then you did the best that you can. You did the best that you could. You are doing the best that you can now. And not in a sense that you are going to overcompensate for someone else. You're going to do the best for you because you're going to look out for yourself. Because all this relationship stuff is all about looking out for you to make the relationship work. You have to love yourself before you love someone else. So you love on them, but love yourself more, because that's where that's coming from. Men too, guys. I'm talking to you too. All of y'all. If you love yourself and you have that, those boundaries for yourself, it don't matter what happens in the relationship. It doesn't matter if you lose that person or not. It doesn't matter. It may hurt. I'm not saying that's not going to hurt. But at the end of the day, you have you to worry about. You have yourself here that you feel like you can't move. You can't do stuff. You can't be you. Don't let that stop you. And then you're going to find this. You're going to find that 9 of Cups, because you're going to be like, hey, I am good. I am confident in myself. I know I can make my dreams come true. I don't have a problem with this. Everything that I have right now is beautiful and cherished. I'm going to cherish that. And if something happens and something comes up, I'm going to be me in that situation. I'm going to handle it in the best way I feel is necessary for me. I'm not saying be completely selfish now. I am definitely saying to look out for yourself and be a little more self-centered. Yes. Self-centered. Think about you, because it's okay. Now, for your outcome, you guys have the 3 of Pentacles. You guys really, really have a bright future ahead of you. You really do. With the 10 of Pentacles in your current situation, you guys really have something really stable. And I know you guys feel it, and I know it, because that's why you guys are working so hard to make sure that you preserve something so beautiful. So your outcome is looking like you guys are going to be planning for the future together. You guys are going to make it some plans. You're going to be really happy. You're going to see a future. You're going to see some beautiful stuff. Just be very careful about how you feel and give yourself that love and compassion. Even if you need to communicate it with your partner to say, hey, look, you know what? I've had some stuff happen to me in the past. I'm not very proud of it, or I'm not very happy with it, and I'm really a little bit anxious about it. Give me some space. Give me a minute, or just talk to them about it, and they're like, have a conversation with your partner that way you feel stable in the relationship. I wouldn't rely on them for the comfort part. I think you need to go within yourself to do that, because obviously where our insecurities come from was with ourselves, not with someone else. Nobody gives us these insecurities. They are our own, okay, that we develop through our own experiences and the way we perceive things. So, I mean, someone can help with that, but at the same time, it's still not necessarily their responsibility. It's still yours, okay? I'm not saying that it's your fault either, though. Just saying, making that clear. But ultimately, guys, this is your situation where you have to be able to preserve the relationship and trust that you know that you are good enough, not anything extra from you, okay? Now, onto your oracle cards. You guys have wisdom of the oracle, and this is definitely telling y'all you're blessed. You're blessed. You are blessed right now. The 10 of Pentacles is in your current situation, your state of being. There's nothing wrong with that card. You're leaving behind a legacy. You're working hard. You're getting results. You get all kinds of good things. And I'm not telling you not to, mess it up, because you're not going to. You're you. You made it work so far, and it's wonderful now. If, like I said before, if there's a hiccup, you can handle it the way you need to handle it, with that's best for you. Hey, that person is totally not listening to what you're saying. Guess you're gonna have to say something to them. Hey, you're not listening. Or if you did something, you're like, hey, I'll work on it. There is things you can do to make the relationship work. If something happens, you can handle it. But that's not even, we're not even going to talk about that, honestly, because you are blessed. You have a wonderful relationship. You have a strong connection here. And I know you know that, Libra. I'm definitely know you know that. That's, like I said before, that's why you're holding on so tight. That's why you're making sure everything is good. You're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You're doing everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just love on it. Just love on it. Give your love. Be there in the moment and enjoy what you got. Okay? Now, your whispers of love. You have, look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. Okay? So, this is definitely going back to what I was saying in regards to, codependency and making sure that you are you and not in someone else, to make sure the relationship doesn't fall through. Because you could be accidentally sabotaging the relationship for yourself in the process of you preventing the fallout. So just be yourself and do the best that you can. Focus on what's true and what's real, and you will find the real victory in the situation, not get to the empty one, okay? All right, Libra. I know it's been a lot. I know, middle of March, and I know it's crazy, but we gonna get through. Everything's gonna be fine. Just trust yourself, because I trust you, okay? We didn't have the ruler of Venus just to be like, we don't know what to do in relationships. We know what the hell to do with relationships. That's why people come to us, right? But ultimately, we know what we can do, and we know what's best, because we develop and we learn through relationships. We got this. Just don't overcompensate. Love you guys so freaking much, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Also, guys, I have a Patreon page as well, so if you guys are interested